But now Nissan is on life support. The company may not survive beyond 2025.
Brace yourself for a shocking revelation. Nissan, a once unshakable giant, now finds itself at an existential crossroads, with its survival beyond 2025 in question. Recall the echoes of the past, the automotive legends like the DeLorean, Pontiac, and Hummer, which once ruled the roads and now rest in the annals of history. Well, the harsh reality is that some of today's most prominent automakers are treading a dangerously similar path toward the abyss of oblivion. At this crucial moment, we'll uncover the car brands waging a desperate battle for their survival. Can they reverse course and re-emerge with renewed vigor, or are they doomed to disappear forever? Join us in this in-depth investigation. In 8th place is Maserati. Once the epitome of luxury and sophistication, this Italian brand has seen its shine dimmed, with sales in the United States plummeting 37% in 2024, reaching a paltry 4,819 vehicles sold. And the bleak outlook wasn't limited to the American market. In Italy, its birthplace, sales suffered an even steeper 41% drop, with a mere 242 units finding new owners. Globally, Maserati managed to move only 300 cars, a staggering 57% decline compared to 2023, culminating in a staggering 285 million loss. But what ultimately led to this spectacular downfall? The answer lies in a triad of crucial problems. First, the ineffectiveness of the brand's marketing campaigns in communicating its luxury essence and establishing a clear differentiation in the face of increasingly fierce competition. To compound this strategic failure, Maserati has been plagued by a persistent series of reliability issues, ranging from electrical failures and transmission issues to significant concerns about engine performance, undermining consumer confidence. Last but not least, the prohibitive costs of ownership, which range from routine maintenance to inevitable depreciation, have led even the most loyal customers to question whether the prestige associated with the brand truly justified the investment. Given this bleak outlook, it's no surprise that Maserati is now surpassed in sales by Ferrari, which boasts 13,752 units, and is dangerously close to being overtaken by Lamborghini, with 10,700 units. The gravity of the situation is so severe that it resulted in the resignation of CEO David Grasso in 2024, a clear sign of the urgency to reverse the situation. And as if that weren't enough, the brand faces a new and formidable obstacle: the 25% import tariffs imposed by Trump, which further increased the already exorbitant price of its vehicles. Without a production base in the US, Maserati finds itself at a severe competitive disadvantage. Unless a radical and immediate change is implemented, the iconic Trident brand is in imminent danger of becoming just a melancholy memory in the American automotive landscape. Next, we'll delve into the history of a doomed car brand, ironically owned by one of the largest automotive conglomerates in the world. 7th place, Jaguar. In 2024, Adrian Mardell, the visionary CEO of Jaguar Land Rover, announced a bold strategy to investors: the discontinuation of several low profitability models, marking the brand's definitive transition to an all-electric lineup. Today, Jaguar has eliminated much of its vehicle portfolio, keeping only the acclaimed F-Pace SUV in production. The ramifications of this strategic decision? An unprecedented collapse in sales. In 2024, Jaguar sold a total of just 33 units globally, representing a staggering 82% drop from its all-time high in 2018, when it reached an impressive 833 vehicles. In the United States, deliveries plummeted to a mere 13,210 units, turning Jaguar's ambitious reinvention as an electric vehicle brand into a high-risk gamble. However, automotive industry analysts strongly warned that this radical transition could have disastrous consequences, potentially costing Jaguar the loyalty of 85% of its existing customer base. To make matters worse, parent company Jaguar Land Rover has suspended shipments to the US due to Trump's tariffs, mercilessly strangling an already fragile brand. Without truly competitive models, with sharply declining sales and an electric future shrouded in uncertainty, Jaguar is in serious danger of becoming yet another tragic cautionary tale in the volatile automotive world. Once an unquestionable symbol of luxury and performance, the brand is now desperately fighting for its very survival. Next, we'll explore the saga of a car brand with a rich history that finds itself on the brink of collapse, a victim of its own strategic missteps. Sixth place, Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo is globally recognized for creating some of the most aesthetically stunning and captivating cars on the road. But the harsh truth is relentless. Nobody's buying them anymore. In 2018, American consumers purchased nearly 24 Alfa vehicles, but those numbers plummeted to just 865 by 2024. To put this decline in perspective, consider that by March 2025, Honda alone sold a staggering 792 vehicles in the United States. The reasons behind this collapse are painfully clear. First, Alfa vehicles, despite their stunning beauty, have earned an infamous reputation for mechanical unreliability. Owners frequently report coolant leaks that appear after just 30 miles, suspension component failures around 40 miles, and a relentless barrage of recalls, covering everything from dangerous fuel system leaks to faulty airbags. Not even the acclaimed high-performance Quadrifoglio models, equipped with Ferrari-derived engines, have escaped these chronic quality issues, tarnishing the brand's image of excellence. To make matters worse, Stellantis, Alfa's parent company, has implemented significant cuts to its operations. The exciting and sought-after Quadrifoglio variants have been discontinued, resulting in a product range restricted to just a few models. Consequently, dealership salespeople face an uphill battle to overcome the brand's poor reputation, especially when customers have access to more reliable and established alternatives from manufacturers like BMW, Audi, or even Mazda, which offer a safer and more consistent value proposition. While the decline of the brands we've analyzed so far seemed like an almost inevitable progression, the following revelations will truly astonish you. In fifth place is Mini. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Mini's identity crisis in the American market has reached a point of no return. The brand, which once thrived on its quirky charm and compact dimensions, sold just 299 vehicles in the US in 2024, representing a 21.5% drop compared to 2023 and a gulf compared to its 2012 peak of 354 sales. Even more alarming is the discovery that the new Countryman SUV has accumulated 188 days of inventory on dealer lots, a clear sign of disastrous demand for what should be Mini's flagship. Furthermore, BMW's management of the brand has been questionable at best. The disastrous 2024 model year update, which coincided with a sweeping company recall for braking defects, has left dealers in a chaotic and difficult recovery situation. Meanwhile, the cancellation of the Cooper electric convertible is irrefutable proof that BMW is losing patience with Mini's underperformance. Mini's essence has always been to offer small, fun, and affordable cars that stood out from the crowd with their unique personality. However, current models have grown in size, become more expensive, and have lost much of their uniqueness, finding themselves in a limbo between conventional economy cars and genuine luxury vehicles. The result is a worrying scenario. Sales are in freefall, new models fail to captivate the public, and even BMW seems to be showing a decreasing interest in sustaining the brand. Unless Mini can reclaim its original identity and what made it so special, it is in imminent danger of fading into irrelevance, becoming just another brand that has forgotten why it was loved in the first place. In fourth place, Chrysler. There was a glorious time when Chrysler stood proudly alongside GM and Ford, forming the legendary Detroit Triad. In 2005, the brand achieved a remarkable feat, selling 293 vehicles across 7 distinct models. However, the current reality is grim. Chrysler has been reduced to selling exclusively minivans, and even these vehicles face an uphill battle to remain relevant. The once innovative Pacifica and the fuel-efficient Voyager now constitute the entirety of the brand's lineup, with sales plummeting 50% over the past decade. Chrysler's downfall has been a slow but relentless process. The brand that revolutionized the market with the invention of the minivan failed miserably to adapt as consumers abandoned family vehicles in favor of SUVs, a trend that quickly took hold. The last remaining sedan, the iconic 300, was discontinued, and the promising Airflow electric vehicle had its launch canceled before it even saw the light of day. Now, Stellantis' CEO, with an uncompromising stance, has made it clear that underperforming brands will be ruthlessly eliminated. Some automotive analysts even believe that Chrysler is in an even more precarious situation today than during its 1979 bankruptcy crisis, when it required a $1.5 billion federal bailout to avoid total collapse. Back then, at least there was a glimmer of hope for a recovery. Now, with no innovative new models, no clear electric vehicle strategy, and with demand for its only products steadily declining, Chrysler may soon become just a melancholy memory in the vast American automotive landscape. Before we reveal the last 3 brands fighting for survival, we invite you to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our in-depth analyses. In third place, Mitsubishi. Do you remember the heyday of Mitsubishi vehicles being ubiquitous on the streets and highways? Those days, sadly, are long gone. While the brand achieved a modest 25% increase in sales in 2024, the truth is that this paltry figure is lower than what its Japanese counterparts sell in just 1 month. And now, Mitsubishi has made a decision that could seal its fate: the discontinuation of its best-selling model, the affordable Mirage, a model that, in 2024, accounted for the majority of its 109,843 sales. Visit one of Mitsubishi's 300 remaining dealerships today, and you'll be confronted with a stark reality: the lots are virtually empty, with only a handful of aging Outlanders and Eclipse Cross SUVs gathering dust, a silent testament to the brand's crisis. Mitsubishi's future in the US is seriously compromised. By eliminating its most competitive model, the brand left its dealers in a desperate situation, struggling with high prices and bleakly empty yards. With only the Outlander as its last bastion, extinction is a concrete and imminent possibility unless a drastic and immediate turnaround occurs. Second, Fiat. This is undoubtedly one of the biggest enigmas in the global auto industry. How can Fiat sell an impressive 1.2 million vehicles worldwide, yet fail so resoundingly in the American market? The numbers are undeniable and revealing. Only 528 new Fiats found buyers in the US in 2024. To illustrate the magnitude of this contrast, Toyota, on average, sold about 6,831 vehicles per day in 2024. The only ray of hope for Fiat is that this number represents a slight increase in sales, considering that the automaker sold only 605 cars in 2023. This collapse is particularly surprising when one remembers that Fiat had a promising comeback after its return to America in 2011. The brand reached its peak of 121 sales in the US in 2014, a clear indication of early interest and market potential. However, 3 crucial factors conspired to crush this momentum. First, consumer reports. An authority on product reviews rates Fiat's reliability as below average, with its cars often ranking near the bottom in terms of durability and longevity compared to all other available brands. Second, its compact car lineup simply doesn't resonate with American buyers, who demonstrate an overwhelming preference for SUVs and trucks, vehicles that Fiat doesn't offer in sufficient quantity or variety. Finally, the brand never managed to establish a significant dealership presence or an effective marketing strategy to remain relevant and visible in the competitive American market. Now, with global sales down 11%, Fiat's parent company Stellantis faces an agonizing decision: continue pouring resources into a dying American experiment, or finally pull the plug and shut down this venture once and for all. First up, Nissan. Just a decade ago, Nissan stood shoulder to shoulder with giants like Toyota and Honda, leading the Japanese auto industry in innovation and sales volume. However, warning lights have been flashing red at Nissan headquarters for some time. Currently, the company finds itself in a situation that CEO Makoto Ucha himself openly describes as extremely arduous. And that description might be considered an understatement. When you walk into any Nissan dealership today, the first problem you notice is an aging product line that has, regrettably, lost its competitive edge in a constantly evolving market. While its rivals flooded the market with a profusion of hybrid and electric options, Nissan inexplicably remained on the sidelines, missing out on one of the biggest and most significant shifts in consumer preferences in decades. To further exacerbate the already delicate situation, the company now faces serious exposure to new import tariffs, especially since it is the largest exporter of Mexican-made vehicles to the US among Japanese automakers, placing it in a strategically vulnerable position. The numbers, in turn, paint a bleak and worrying picture. Nissan's US operations are sized for an ambitious 8.5% market share, but the reality is that the company can barely maintain 4.5%. This colossal gap represents billions of dollars in lost potential annually, a devastating blow to its finances. While 900 annual sales in the US may sound respectable at first glance, this figure is far short of Nissan's former glory days and positions it dangerously behind its more agile and innovative competitors. It's important to note that there were promising discussions for a strategic merger between Nissan and Honda, a move that could have redefined the global automotive landscape. However, to the disappointment of many, these negotiations fell through, ending a potential $60 billion deal. Furthermore, two senior Nissan executives recently issued a dire warning. The company has only 12 to 14 months to survive without implementing drastic and urgent changes. And, to an outside observer, Nissan's collapse sadly seems increasingly inevitable. We sincerely hope you enjoyed this in-depth and revealing analysis. To access more content like this, we invite you to join our community by clicking the bell and subscribing to our universe of information. We'll see you in our next Automotive Discovery video.